And welcome to Sugar Talk, brought to you by Diabetes and Endocrinology Consultants, Dr. KG and Lucas in the house. Good morning, doctor. How are you?
Good morning. I'm great.
What are we talking about today?
Sweet pea.
Sweet pea? Oh, okay. I have a feeling that's not, not the food variety.
No, sugar in the urine.
Okay.
Actually, we're talking about kidney disease. But bringing up sugar in the urine makes me think of the Greeks about 2,000 or 3,000 years ago, and the way diabetes was diagnosed was because the urine was sweet, and somebody actually tasted it, and it was sweet, and then the flies were circling around it, so they thought it was sweet too. It's pretty disgusting. So bring up a disgusting thing, but that is interesting because
Welcome to 7:17 in the morning.
that's what diabetes mellitus. So mellitus is sweet, and diabetes is siphon. So siphon means pouring lots of stuff out, like urinating a lot. So people that have a high sugar level tend to pee a lot or urinate a lot, and they get thirsty because the kidney's supposed to hold on to all the sugar. The kidney's supposed to hold on to all the good things and get rid of the bad things, and sugar's not a bad thing. Sugar's supposed to be held on to. So if you have diabetes, a lot of times if your sugar's over the limit that the kidney can hold on to, it releases it. It has to go somewhere. And diabetes is a major cause of kidney disease. It's, if you have diabetes, you're 17 times more likely to go on dialysis than somebody without diabetes. So people on dialysis usually have diabetes or hypertension. There's some that have a genetic disorder of the kidneys, but the majority of the people have diabetes on dialysis. So it just indicates the scope of the problem, that you really need to take care of your kidneys. It's another organ that can be damaged by diabetes.
Having to go to the bathroom frequently is one of the symptoms, though, right?
That is a symptom, and that means your sugar's high. That doesn't mean you're damaging your kidneys necessarily. It's just that the kidney can't hold on to all that sugar. And now there's drugs for diabetes that actually make you urinate more and get rid of more sugar. But in general, if your blood sugar is less than about 180, the kidneys usually are able to hold on to that sugar. But if it's over that, or if it's real high, then the kidneys can't hold on to it, and it leaks out and pulls fluids with it. So that's why you urinate a lot, get up at night and go to the bathroom multiple times with large volumes of urine. It's not like a prostate problem where you get up a little bit and go a little bit, or a bladder problem you go a little bit. It's a large volume of urine, and that's one of the symptoms of diabetes. Of course, if you're losing fluids out of your body, then you're thirsty. So then you end up drinking everything. Then you're craving sugar. So then you're drinking sugar drinks, and that makes it worse. So the sugar goes higher and higher.
Is that a symptom of both type 1 and type 2?
Yes, all diabetes has the same types of symptoms as presenting symptoms. So you don't really know what type you are. That has to be determined, by your doctor who's seeing you.
I remember when I was a kid, there was another kid who was ended up being diagnosed with type 1, or at that time they called it juvenile diabetes, I guess. But he was always taking water to bed, taking a glass of water to bed, and that was the concern.
Yes, getting up at night to drink or getting up at night to urinate might be a symptom of diabetes. It could be a symptom of other things. A lot of medications dry out your mouth and make you thirsty. Then anytime you drink more fluids, you're going to urinate more. But this would be, even if you didn't drink more, you'd be urinating more. And that's why you get dehydrated, and then your blood sugar goes even higher in your blood, and then you can feel real sick.
Do spikes in sugar, in your sugar levels, damage your kidneys more? I mean, you say that 180, but if you have frequent spikes that are above that,
yeah, they think the spikes are really pretty dangerous. As far as whenever the sugar goes up, it sticks to everything. So if it's just up for a brief moment, it has some time to stick, but it still sticks. So the sugar usually goes up after every meal, depending on what you eat, and that can stick to everything. So it sticks to the small blood vessels. The kidney's just a big bag full of small blood vessels, and the blood vessels filter the blood as it goes through it. So it's a big filter, and if you have sugar stuck to the small blood vessels are not able to function properly. They can start leaking, and what they do is the first sign of kidney disease and diabetes is you leak protein out, because you're supposed to hold on to all the protein. So if you start having a small amount of protein in your urine that's checked by your doctor, then it may indicate early signs of kidney disease.
So when you're testing for diabetes, you're looking at your A1C, or you're looking at your blood sugar levels, what's the difference in testing for kidney disease?
I usually get a urine specimen and have little dipsticks that you stick in the urine, and it lights up if there's protein in it. Mm-hmm. You can measure small amounts of protein by certain strips and large amounts of protein by other. Sometimes you collect the urine for a whole day and measure it in that. But usually there's ways of picking up whether there's a small amount of protein in it. Some people have large amounts of protein, and the protein also damages the kidney blood vessels. So you start leaking protein, you get more kidney damage, and the kidneys are not able to filtrate everything properly, and that's called the glomerular filtration rate. So the glomeruli are the little balls of blood vessels in the kidneys that filter the blood, and if they filter normally, then the rate's 60. That's over 60 is normal. And once you start getting below 60 in the GFR, what it's called, mm-hmm. then you have more and more kidney damage. It indicates kidney damage.
What does the G stand for again?
Glomerular.
You should have a little bell that rings every time I hear a word I've never heard before.
That's why you say GFR. It's easier to say.
All right.
So that's what they're putting on a lot of the lab tests now, the metabolic profiles. They have all the kidney tests and liver tests and all that they usually get when you go to the doctor. Will calculate a GFR. It's not necessarily accurate. As you get older, what the formula is that you subtract your age and divide by your creatinine, which is a number that's in the blood that indicates kidney function. So as you get older, your GFR goes down anyway. That doesn't mean you have kidney disease, but it's an indication that you need to watch out, for that.
Body parts are wearing down, right? I mean, it's with age. But
can't mean it.
How about if you test positive, if you're diabetic, then you're probably, I'm imagining your doctor is testing you for kidney disease anyway, right?
Yeah, usually you test once a year with the urine test, and if it's positive, then you may go on to get a 24-hour urine or see a kidney doctor and make sure that's what's causing it. I usually have to have diabetes for a while, and it usually has to be not as well controlled as it should be. So kidney disease is not something you present with diabetes. It's mm-hmm. something that you develop later. So the warning signs, are there when you do that. Now, the best thing to prevent the kidney disease, though, is to keep the blood sugar controlled so it doesn't damage the kidneys, mm-hmm. and also keep your blood pressure controlled. Blood pressure will damage your kidneys further also, as well as smoking.
Okay, all right. Again, some more hints coming up as well for your health on Sugar Talk with Dr. K. Gene Lucas from Diabetes and Endocrinology Consultants. You can go online to beachdoctor.com. Hey, welcome back to the program. Good to have you with us here on Coastal Daybreak on the talk station, FM 107 and AM 1240 on Sugar Talk with Dr. K. Gene Lucas. And Doctor, I wanted to ask you, though, we have a caller. I want to get to this in just a second. But let's take the caller first. Armando from Jacksonville with us. Hey, Armando, how are you?
Hey, good morning. I'm fine, thank you. Dr. Lucas, I just wanted to ask you, for myself and coworkers I know that are diabetic, when we're out shopping and we're looking at the labels and there's a carb count on there, and they break that carb count down and they have a sugar number, what is the most important for a person to look at or to consider? I know that the overall carb count is important, but why do they break it down? Is it lower sugar, higher sugar? Can you talk just a little bit about that?
If you have diabetes and you're looking at what to eat, then the total carbs is what matters. It doesn't matter the fiber, it doesn't matter the sugar, it matters what the total carbs is, because every carb, all the starches turn into sugar in your mouth. Your saliva breaks them down. So you really look at total carbs. The sugars, that's important too if you don't eat a lot of sugar things. The best thing is just not to eat anything out of a box. So then you don't even have to look at the labels. Just eat things without labels and you'll be fine.
All right, okay. Thanks, Armando. All right, pretty good advice there. But I wanted to ask you, though, if somebody who's, you talk about throwing off proteins, I think is kind of the phrase that's often used. If somebody's on a high protein diet, is that dangerous to the kidneys?
No, the kidney should be able to handle it. Everything should be able to handle it. So high protein doesn't damage the kidneys. It's if the blood vessels are damaged by the diabetes or high blood pressure or smoking, which also damages all little blood vessels, then they start leaking protein. So people get confused. Most protein in the blood is made by the liver. It makes albumin, and that's what gets leaked out mm-hmm. of the kidneys. So the protein you eat, helps your liver be able to make proteins, but it's not necessarily going to cause kidney damage. There's other problems with just eating a lot of protein anyway. It's just you're not getting all the nutrition you need.
Okay, all right. Now find out more if you want to go online to beachdoctor.com. That's beachdoctor.com. You can also call 222-5700 for diabetes and endocrinology consultants. And Dr. Lucas, we'll see you next week.
Thanks.